when the world should stay the fuck out of your business. Wanting something should not be a sin when everyone around is feeling the exact same fucking way. Being human is an instinct, not a source of religious scrutiny. Nowhere does the concept have more impact than in the case of children. I can put it in this context. When I was a kid, all I wanted one Christmas was a set of Boba Fett underoos. That was all I wanted. I ended up with an Atari 2600 and a double-deck ghetto blaster. The disappointment I felt at the time was so crushing that I refused to speak to anyone for a week. A few months later, I was being moved to Florida against my will, and I had to leave behind all of my stuff, all of it. My ghetto blaster and my Atari 2600 were pawned for gas money. I ended up homeless for a few weeks in Fort Lauderdale. By then, Boba Fett underoos were the least of my worries. Eating had become a high priority. So I learned young that envy is silly in comparison with survival. It does not mean I stopped wanting my heart's desires. It means I have a curious yet headstrong way of putting things in perspective. I can see the forest through the fire. We make mountains out of gravel and a dew out of apathy all the time. Envy will always be the Iago to our Othello. Here's another bit of nonsense I came up with when I was younger. I was convinced I would never be a good singer or a great writer because I was not Steven Tyler. True story. Steven Tyler, you can say whatever you want. Steven Tyler is one of the most gifted and original rock stars on the planet. Nobody sounds like him, nobody writes like him, and nobody exudes the kind of cool he has radiated consistently since I was a fucking toddler.
You rap bad, you sound bad.
Well, I don't know about that. He may have had his problems, and he may go to battle with demons on a daily basis, but to me, he was the upper crust of amazing. I have my idols: Sebastian Bach, Henry Rollins, Mike Patton, James Hetfield, and David Lee Roth. But Steven Tyler was the holy grail to me. He was the icon I tried to live up to for years. As I got older, I realized that I could never be Steven Tyler, nor should I want to be. Not because I think any less of him, but because I know in my heart that emulation is a sincere form of flattery, but individuality is the only form of immortality. You guys are gonna do this after every line. We're never gonna get through this piece of shit. As envious as I was of his career, to want to have an exact replica would be a testimony to his legacy, not mine. It is easier to take your cues from someone else because they have made the mistakes in advance. No risk means no foul, but it also means no glory. You have to cut a new swath to find new land. If you follow the same path everyone else does, you will only end up with everyone else. If you want to stand out, stand up for yourself. So my loud envy became quiet respect for the toxic twin with the amazing lips. I still think he is an incredible man, but now I am looking for a way to be an equal, not a double. Maybe that still means I am envious of a status high above what I have achieved. Maybe I am pragmatic, and I know I have been extremely lucky to have the career I have had so far. I am not the first to desire some sort of recognition from my elders. We have always envied the ones before us, whether it is a teenager wanting to be treated like an adult, or a worker wanting a little respect from the boss. We all want the top spot, no matter what that spot happens to be. It can be as normal as walking through your neighbor's house with a knife or what you can improve in your own. Yeah, I've done it. Funny little side note. before I bought the house I have in West Des Moines, I was looking at another house that was already kind of done, and they had this amazing wood floor pattern in the dining room, and I was like, ooh, that's fucking really cool. It was like different types of wood kind of generating out from a central square, right? Really cool, really fucking tied the whole thing together. And I was like, oh, I want this house, this is fucking great. Well, then somebody fucking came in and bought the house, so I took that idea and I put it in the house I fucking bought in West Des Moines. I was like, suck it. I can't have your house, I'll have mine. Where the fuck was I? Oh, okay. It can be assorted as an Oedipal complex and a cocked fist. We fight the good fight, but when no one is looking, we will always find ourselves looking around. Envy will make a man cheat on his wife. Envy will make a wife fuck the pool boy. Envy will make us all fuck each other over to get a better washer and dryer. But is it a sin, or is it one of those things that comes standard like GPS and Alexis? The devout masses have told us time and again that free will was a gift from God. I dread to say it, but that makes my point. Free will is the box set, and your sins are the DVDs. We come loaded with the propensity to do great and terrible things. Free will guarantees we can do them, but then we are expected to believe that someone is watching everything we do and judging every second. Why the fuck do we have free will if we are judged regardless? And why should we give a rat's ass pipe if we are being judged in the first place if we all have free wills? I guess it all comes down to what you believe. If you are an atheist, you just have to deal with how other people view your deeds. If you are a member of the holy flock, not only do you have to put up with the rest of the Gladys Kravitzes all over the world, but you also have to worry about the big scary old guy in the sky. Your only hope is to subscribe to the New Testament God. He is a little more lenient than the Old Testament God. New Testament God will shake his head with a quiet, knowing smile. Old Testament God will make you eat your children just to prove to him that you believe in his existence. My own observations have shown me that envy just makes a sadistic little sewing circle that complains about anyone not knitting their asses off. For some reason, we cannot keep our noses to ourselves. If we all just took life at face value, it might be a little easier. But most people just refuse to see that some things are unattainable. I get it. Every guy wants a four-wheeler, and every woman wants a guy who does not want a four-wheeler. If people would just lower their expectations, they could settle, like people do already, whether they realize it or not. We get what we get, and we like it, even if we do not truly like it. That is one thing about envy that I cannot stand. It makes us hate the things we get because they are not the things we want. Why do we not want the things we get? I am certain there are others who get the same shit, but we do not pay attention to those people. The things we get cannot be all that great because those people have them. So envy gives us another reason to look down on those around us, even when we are secretly looking up to them. I will tell you what I do not envy. People with athlete's foot are nothing to be jealous of. Another example is the life of a garbage disposal. That is just gross. How about the snot end of a diseased penis? Where am I going with this? Sorry, I am surrounded by people talking about stuff I am actually interested in. I will be right back. And I'll end it right there. There's more to that